Hello, wonderful people. It's my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of your Sorrow's Sports Business Show, Sport Exchange. My name is Judy Olano. On today's show, we've got the news segment for you where we will be giving you some interesting stories. Also, on the dugout segment, we'll be looking at how the spin doctors can help you as an athlete. Of course, we need to focus on how to do something about the image of athletes, especially talking about how athletes can really have good image out there. This is what we'll be focusing on the dugout segment. Also, our side segment is also here. It's an offshoot of the news that we'll be taking later. But before we go on to the news, let me quickly tell you that it's breaking though. That's talking about the fact that you know about the iconic Staples Center in Los Angeles. News reaching us has it that on Christmas Day, there will be a change of name for the Staples Center. It will be known as Crypto.com Arena as from the Christmas Day. Of course, if you don't know, Staples Center, popular for musicians as well as sports people, NBA Lakers, NBA Clippers, and for the hockey clubs, Kings and WNBA Sparks, that is their home ground or their home court. Okay, that's it. Let's go straight to the business of taking you through the news today. Let me start from Nigeria, where Nigeria's Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has inaugurated a 16-man committee to draw up a 10-year football master plan for the country. He also announced that the federal government, through the Sport Ministry and the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, are on the same page regarding the development of football in Nigeria. There has been talks in some quarters that the minister was trying to usurp the function of the Football Federation, but the minister says the Presidential Committee will not work at cross purposes with the Football Federation. Still talking football business now, Manchester United have confirmed talks with the club's supporters trust over the introduction of a new fans share scheme. The announcement comes amid growing tension between United's Glazer family ownership and fans following the fallout from the club's involvement in the European Super League. According to Sky News, around £10 million of shares will be available to Manchester United fans under the agreement, which is close to being finalized. And still talking sports now, business that is. YouTube says its UEFA Women's Champions League partnership with over-the-top broadcaster DAZN is already achieving its aims of reaching new audiences for women's soccer. The two companies are in the first year of a landmark 4-season agreement to show every single match from Europe's premier women's club soccer competition on DAZN's sports streaming service, with selected matches available for free on Google's online video platform, that's YouTube. YouTube's head of sports for Europe, Middle East, and Africa told Sports Pro at the summit that his UWCL matches had already attracted 5 million viewers, 85% of which were not previously subscribers to DAZN's YouTube channel. And off we go to basketball now. National Basketball Association NBA Giants, the Golden State Warriors, have extended their jersey patch sponsorship with Japanese e-commerce company Rakuten. The renewal of the NBA franchise's deal with Rakuten, which first started in 2017, will see the company continue as the Warriors' official e-commerce partner, video on demand partner, and affiliate marketing partner. The original deal was reported to be worth $20 million a year, one of the biggest patch deals in the NBA. The new agreement, of which the terms have not been announced, includes continued brand visibility inside the team's Chase Center home venue and across the Warriors' digital platforms. I'm still talking, let's move on. US-based boxing promotional company Top Rank has signed a partnership with Amazon to show multiple events live on the e-commerce giant's Prime Video on Demand streaming service in Japan. The deal, which also involves Japanese boxing promoter Taiken Promotions, covers events in 2021 and 2022, starting with the middleweight world title unification fight between Gennady Golovkin and Ryota Murata on the 29th of December, which is being billed as big drama in Japan. Additionally, fight cards, which will be streamed under the Prime Video Presents live boxing umbrella exclusively in Japan, will be announced by Top Rank and taken in due course. All live boxing events will be available at no additional cost for Prime members on Prime Video Japan. All right, that's it for the news. We're going to break, and when we come back, we will have our guests join us for the Dugout segment. Don't go away, still Sport Exchange right here. Yes, you're welcome back to the Dugout segment, and straight we are having a global PR consultant on the show today. Yeah, she is the founder of Mozron Communications. Tolu Lokwe Olorundere joins me on today's show. Tolu, how are you doing?
Thank you, Judy. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Quickly, let's go straight to this. Today we're looking at sports and public relations. For the benefit of those who are watching us, we are going to be using generic for sports brand, as in whether it's a club, an athlete, or it's an event. So let me start by asking you this question. Can you make us understand why a sport brand should take the art of communicating its essence, why they should make it serious, why they should take it serious, rather?
Right. Well, so like many things that we experience or interact with as human beings, sport is essentially a business, right? Beyond the entertainment factor and people feeling good about themselves, the entire sports industry and then the activity of sports itself is a business. And like any other business that I would consult for, I would say that it is critical for you to first identify who your stakeholders are and then consistently maintain communication with them. Now, the reason it's important is because you cannot build your sports business or sporting activity in isolation. You need to consider who your fans are, how many people are watching, how much are you able to generate from the sports that you're participating in or that you're doing. And that's the concern of any normal business person, really. And it's the same thing that applies. So it's important for sport businesses, for sports brands, for events around sports, to consistently communicate their essence, what they stand for, why are they doing what they're doing, what's the significance of the sport, what does it do for the human body or for the human being, what's the relevance of that sport in that country or in that place where they're doing it. There is always a story to tell about activities and events, and it's important for sports to begin to take its place in that direction.
All right. Thank you very much, Tolu. Some just think that image laundering is all about talking to the media. Especially it happens from politics to, they just feel that's all it's about. Talking to the media, that's image laundering. Is that really so?
Well, so the first challenge I have is with that nomenclature, image laundering, right? So in public relations, we say that we are managing people's reputation. Okay, that's different from image laundering that sounds like money laundering, right? So that's not a good association that we like. And that classification is important because even in the words that you allow to be associated with your brand, it's important because people begin to the thoughts or the words or the images that come to people's minds when you use certain words determine whether they're going to be positively interested in what you're doing or just think about it in a negative way. So it's important, first of all, to know that what public relations does is to manage reputation, whether for politicians, whether for sports, whether for organizations, as opposed to image laundering. That's one. On the second hand is even when crisis happens, which is when reputation management mostly come to the fore. The ideal would be that both the interest of the organization, the brand, or the athlete is put side by side the general interest of the people, right? Of the stakeholders, whether the fans, whether the sponsors, or even the club or organizers of the sports itself. So it's important, really, that the first thing to do when there's a crisis or when there's a reputation issue is not to run to the media, right? And you would have seen it play out in Nigeria. I've spoken about it several times on social media, where people react. So somebody has accused you of something, and the first thought that comes to people's mind is to react to it. That's a very wrong way to handle it. The first thing to do is to assess the situation, right? And then take your time to respond. There is a difference between reacting and responding, right? When you react, the power essentially is in the hands of somebody who is not yourself, because you're just following a trigger. They pinch you, you answer. They pinch you, you answer. Right? As opposed to responding where somebody pinches you, for example, you take your time to reflect. Ask yourself, why is this person doing this? What is the consequence of acting in A or responding to this person, either by slapping him or just ignoring him or just pinching my own back, right? So you look at different scenarios and then look at the one that is most favorable to you. Then you respond. And all of this process can happen within 24 hours, can happen within 8 hours. But what we've seen from time is that people respond, they react, and eventually they have to recant what they've said, right? Because more information is coming out, that further investigation has happened, and we find out that, oh, this person actually lied when they reacted to the news. So it's important, right, that the first thing that anybody does when there's a crisis or there's an accusation or anything really is to sit back, speak to a consultant, and then critically analyze the situation and come out with a position that you can stand by. Even if it's for you to apologize, if it's for you to say, no, this didn't happen, make sure that you have your receipts. Make sure that you have evidence when you're saying, no, something did not happen. Okay? And that's why it's always good to have an objective third party who is assessing that situation with you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm really enjoying this classroom of sorts, right? But we don't even know what some of these athletes, clubs, events stand for in terms of value. How can they begin to correct this?
Well, so the first thing, whether it's a new sport, whether it's an athlete who is known or unknown, the first thing is to ask, oh, why am I doing this? Why am I playing football? So let's focus on an athlete, because from your question, for example, there are three categories of people there. So there's an athlete who is a personal brand. There is the club, that is an organization, and then there is the event, which is a special activity, right? So let's look at this from the perspective of the athlete who is a personal brand. So say this person is a footballer. Why am I playing football? What lesson or what do I stand for in terms of playing this sport? Why am I doing this? Am I doing it to inspire people, or because I just love the sport, therefore I want to share that love with people? The reason people, or the reason an athlete does any sport, will inform what their personal brand should be built on. And that reason will then determine what strategies to use. If I go on social media, for example, should I just say anything and everything that comes to my mind because, oh, I have, say, Twitter followers up to 1 million, and because people listen to me, I'm an influencer, therefore I can just say anything I want? No. Very many athletes today, and as you see it on social media, they speak of brand. Somebody is playing football, and I mean, if you notice the trend in football these days, people come out and then start apologizing. That's because there's not much focus on what your real values are. Human beings make mistakes. Imagine if every time you make a mistake or something happens that is beyond your control, you come out to apologize. Eventually, what is happening is that people begin to look at you as somebody who necessarily doesn't have substance. You are so afraid of public opinion that you're cowering to them. So it's important for athletes, first of all, to understand what their personal values are, why they're doing what they're doing, and then use that to reflect on a strategy that they will use to engage the public, those values will shine through in the things that you say, in the way that you interact with people online, in the places that you go, in the type of initiatives that you are going to support, in the types of NGO that you are going to start, for example. It all starts from, what are my values? Why am I doing what I'm doing? The same thing applies for a club. It's a business, essentially. Beyond the entertainment factor, a club is there to make money at the end of the day, right? So if that's the reason, so what are you doing so that people become attracted to your business? Think about it as like any FMCG business. How do I make people know that my business exists? How do I make people know that my product, who are the athletes? How do I make people know that this product is superior, right? You begin to see that clubs will be showing training sessions. What development trainings are they exposing their athletes to? Who are the people in management? What are their processes and operations like? All of those things help to communicate and keep your stakeholders in line and in check with you.
Wow. I think I'm afraid we can't go further because of time. I wish we could have this conversation because a lot needs to be learned, especially in the area of reputation management. Tolu, I must say, thank you very much.
Indeed.
I know that this conversation will continue. We need to create maybe a bigger forum for this, and I appreciate the friendship as well as for coming on the show today. Tolu.
Thank you very much, Judy.
All right. Thank you, Tolu. That is Tolu Lokwe Olorundero, a global public relations consultant and the founder of Mozone Communications. Okay. I hope you did enjoy that particular interview. Yeah, we were talking about sports and public relations, how it works. All right. That's it for the Dugout segment. We'll go on a break now. When we come back, it will be time for the Offside segment. Yes, welcome back and straight to the Offside segment. You know how we do it on the show. We just sign off with the Offside segment. Anyway, Offside this week is in twofold. One is the letter written by ex-international and Green Eagle legend Chief Adokia Masiamaka to the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, declining to be part of the committee to produce a 10-year football development master plan. In his letter, and I quote, "Nevertheless, it is apposite to recall that carefully thought through reports on similar subjects by other committees, some of which I was privileged to serve on, were received with high commendation by the authorities, only to gather dust. Regrettably, there is no indication whatsoever that things will be any different this time around." End quote. If you ask me, I don't really know why a committee is needed when there is a football federation, except the powers that be just want to tacitly pass a vote of no confidence on the football federation. Anyway, we wish the committee all the best as it embarks on the wild goose chase. All right. For the second time, okay, our second offside again today is it's how a Serbian national football team with a squad market value of 340 million euros denied Portugal national team with the marquee Cristiano Ronaldo and a squad market value of 887 million euros a World Cup ticket at the first shot, as they will be taking a consolatory route that the playoffs will avail them. That's courtesy of KPMG Football Benchmark Player Evaluation Tool for that information. Thank you very much. At times, money don't get you success, or money don't give you results in football. Anyway, that's it. Till I come your way next time, remember that our social media handles are there. Live and interactive, Facebook, Sport Exchange 24. Follow us, like our Facebook page, and on Twitter you can follow us also, Sport Exchange 24. For YouTube, it is this. Talking about YouTube now, TV Nigeria, TV 360 Nigeria. That's it on YouTube, the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that channel so that you can get the best of indigenous content. Till I come your way next time, this is a wrap for me. See you.